Any broad that's running around bragging about getting raw dog, that little old ain't nothing but a cum bucket. I said, no, she a disgusting little old mother.
He straight up said, I hate her, and claimed she's out here spreading a whole spirit to young girls. That's Charleston White talking, and to back it up, he went as far as leaking what looked like Sexyy Red's private medical paperwork, even dropping a list of rappers he swears got caught up with her. These weren't no small names either. These were heavy hitters, the kind of rappers you instantly recognize, the kind of names that make everybody stop scrolling in shock. But Charleston didn't just put her on blast, he painted her like some dangerous woman and tied it all back to the wild behavior she raps about. Once those so-called receipts hit the timeline, social media exploded. People started piecing together every moment, every club sighting, every IG flick, and every messy baby daddy situation. Suddenly, it wasn't just another diss. It turned into a full-on internet storm with fans connecting dots left and right. And the craziest part? The names he claimed will leave you stunned. He made it sound like Drake might not have been the only superstar she had behind the scenes. The way Charleston spun it had people clutching their phones in disbelief, whispering about who else might have been involved. This leak wasn't just messy. It cracked open a whole new scandal that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, I hate her. Yeah, that's she delivered a whore spirit amongst young girls.
Hands on your knees, check that out for me. Charleston White came in swinging, and this time he went full savage mode. He flat out claimed that Sexyy Red's lifestyle was reckless and then dropped a zoomed-in pic showing what he swore looked like a nasty mark on her mouth. He even captioned it wild. I ain't lied yet. Keep eating that brown booty and smashing raw, see what happens. Charleston basically hinted she might be carrying something and tied it all back to the same wild sex talk that made her famous with songs like Sexyy. And he didn't stop there. He got way more graphic, saying her private area was probably fighting off a whole infection. According to him, these dudes don't even wash right, and she out here letting everybody slide in raw. Of course that thing gon' get funky. He literally told fans to hear it straight from his own mouth. But here's the part that made the internet explode. Charleston wasn't just trolling her for attention. He was calling out what he claims are real risks tied to her history. That's why he went as far as dropping what looked like her confidential medical papers, pointing fingers, and turning the whole internet upside down. The minute that leak hit, fans started dragging up every name, every hookup, every rapper she's ever been spotted with, and suddenly it wasn't just about Sexyy Red anymore. It was about a whole lineup of men that might have been caught up too. So, let's break this down, because the list Charleston White is spinning got folks losing their minds. First up is Gucci Third Leg. And that's where things get real messy. One of his former flings already accused him of passing something along, and she swore he knew about it the whole time. That claim alone sent social media into pure chaos, but then it got worse. This same dude bragged about sleeping with over 3,000 women and even linked up with adult content stars. With numbers like that, people instantly started connecting the dots and dragging Sexyy Red into the mix, especially since she was rumored to be around him heavy at one point. For someone that active, fans couldn't help but speculate if she could have been caught up in that too. Sexyy Red eventually hopped on Instagram, frustrated and venting about all the non-stop gossip, saying she's sick of people clowning her over her so-called brown booty jokes. But her comment section, they weren't letting her breathe. Folks were already convinced they had the answers, with one person straight up typing, I mean, she got it from Gucci Third Leg, so... That's when Charleston came right back, waving what he claimed were her leaked medical papers, and suddenly everybody felt like the puzzle pieces were falling into place. And if what he says is true, it doesn't end with her. It starts with her. Because next on Charleston's list, none other than Drake. Yeah, the same Drake who was spotted all cozied up with Sexyy Red in the club, arm wrapped around her, even sneaking a kiss on her cheek. He even posted it himself, writing, "Just met my future wife, Sexyy Red," while she reposted it like it was nothing. I'm your favorite rapper's rapper. That's the type of energy Drake had when he was cozying up to Sexyy Red. And it wasn't just one club sighting either. They've been spotted together multiple times, always looking way more than just friends. And that's why Charleston White's claims are shaking the internet so hard right now. But the real kicker? Drake ain't the only big name on Charleston's list, and the next one made fans lose it. Yep, now it's Chief Keef's turn in the spotlight. Things hit another level of messy when Sexyy Red herself admitted that she and Keef were more than just friends. She didn't put an official label on it, but she sure didn't deny the chemistry either. She said straight up, "That's my people. That's my dog. We like each other, but we can talk on the phone for hours and chill like we've known each other forever." Then she dropped the bomb, joking that he might just end up being her third baby daddy. And if that wasn't wild enough, she even fired shots at King Von's sister, Kayla B, over Keef, basically making it crystal clear there was something real between them. Fans instantly started connecting those dots back to Charleston White's shocking claims. If those leaked medical receipts he's waving around are even halfway true, and if Red was that close to Keef, then the possibility of him being pulled into the mess is way too real. That's the dangerous part of Charleston's allegations. He's not just throwing random names, he's painting a whole ripple effect, like one scandal spreading through an entire circle of rappers. And just when it felt like things couldn't get any messier, Charleston White tossed another name into the fire. This one's still a mystery, but Sexyy Red herself sparked it when she posted a photo on Instagram, lying in bed with some unknown man. She didn't show his face, only his feet. But fans instantly noticed the dude was wearing an ankle monitor, which screamed house arrest. Her caption only fueled the chaos. "I like messing with drillers, redhead killer." Now here's where it ties right back to Charleston's bombshell claims. With him waving around that alleged medical paperwork, every little name, every blurry photo, every sneaky caption suddenly feels like another piece in the puzzle. That mystery man could be yet another link in the chain, someone possibly caught up in the ripple effect Charleston's been warning about. And fans? They're already trying to connect every single dot. But Charleston didn't stop there. He threw another wild card into the mix. Aiden Ross. Yeah, the streamer himself openly bragged about smashing Sexyy Red. He teased his fans saying, "I want to announce something, but I don't know if I should. I did have Sexyy Red." Then he added fuel to the fire by admitting she was the dominant one in bed. And if that wasn't enough, he went even further, saying he once watched her private tape, and in his own words, "That's what made me hit her." With every new name Charleston drops, the drama ain't slowing down. It's stacking higher and higher, pulling rappers, streamers, and mystery men all into the same mess. I'm being for real. Ugh, vile. That was the vibe all over social media when that Aiden Ross clip went viral, and you already know Sexyy Red wasn't staying quiet. She clapped back hard, firing off, "You paid me to take your virginity, and I did just that." Then, just to twist the knife, she threw in another jab on Twitter. "Psyche, you couldn't test me with a stick." Now, when you connect that heat to Charleston White's alleged medical receipts, the picture gets uglier. Every fling, every rumor, every time her name gets linked to another man, people start asking the same question. Who else could have been exposed? And with names like Drake, Chief Keef, and now Aiden Ross already floating around, White's list doesn't just shock anymore. It makes you wonder how deep this chain really runs and who might be next. And just when you thought things couldn't get any crazier, Ray J popped up and added his own fire to the mess. On his Twitch livestream, he claimed he and Sexyy Red had hooked up on a flight, but Red quickly shut it down, snapping back that it was a lie. "Even to be saying we slept on a plane together? I said hi and kept it pushing. Is you sick?" She made it crystal clear she wasn't entertaining that rumor, but here's the twist. If she's right, then why is Ray J's name supposedly sitting on Charleston White's list in the first place? That one question is exactly why fans keep digging, because denials don't erase suspicion. And just when you thought the gossip couldn't spiral further, rumors started bubbling about Sexyy Red and Huncho. It all started with that music video where Huncho played Sexyy Red's love interest, and fans were instantly shocked at how real the chemistry looked. Then she posted fresh IG pics with captions that lined up perfectly with the lyrics, making people think this wasn't just acting. It might have been real. But here's where it gets messy. When you look at it through the lens of Charleston White's explosive STD claims, the dots start connecting fast. If Huncho really was messing with her, even casually, then he could be part of the same risky circle White's been hinting at. Because let's be honest, once rumors of infections, hookups, and flings start stacking up, people stop seeing it as random gossip and start calling it a pattern. That's why when Charleston dropped that so-called medical report, the focus instantly shifted. Suddenly, it wasn't just about Drake, Chief Keef, or Aiden Ross. Now fans started betting Huncho's name might be the next one to pop up in the scandal. But it didn't stop there. Things took an even crazier turn when her own baby daddy jumped in. He accused Sexyy Red of burning rappers, and even waved around what looked like paperwork to back his claim. Social media exploded with the question, where is all this paperwork coming from? And then, just like that, he backtracked, saying he never actually caught anything from her at all. That back and forth is exactly why Charleston White's alleged documents hit harder than a bitter ex's rant. They kept the spotlight locked on Red and her circle of flings. At one point, Charleston even pressed the issue, saying on a call, "When you gonna keep it gangsta?" And Red, she had no response. He made it real clear. The virus might be dormant, but it's still herpes, and that doesn't just disappear. To prove he wasn't bluffing, her baby daddy even flashed paperwork showing there was no active detection at the time. But then he doubled down with a wild claim saying, "Y'all favorite rapper? She burning everybody, getting burnt herself. You gotta be strong for that ride, 'cause it ain't for the weak, and I'm the weak. Remember, you started this." But here's the crazy twist. Later, he backpedaled, saying he never actually caught anything, and even showed proof to clear his name. Still, the fact that her own baby daddy threw himself into the fire made people start looking back at every single rapper she's ever been tied to, whether it was a fling, a club sighting, or just hanging out. The second STDs got pulled into the conversation, Charleston White's so-called list started looking a whole lot more believable. Fans couldn't help but picture the ripple effect. One hookup here, another there, and suddenly the thought of who else might have been caught up in this got real. But here's where it gets even wilder. Sexyy Red herself has admitted to having infections before, and she's turned it into part of her brand. She once went viral posting a pic of a fan outside the ER holding up dollar bills spelling out, "I want the STD," and she captioned it, "It's gone. Now. I'm a fine. Done took my meds." That's classic Sexyy, spinning the scandal into a joke for clout. And if that wasn't enough, even her beauty brand leaned into the chaos, with lip gloss shades named after things like gonorrhea and yellow discharge. She literally turned controversy into marketing. So when Charleston White dropped that alleged medical report, nobody was laughing. It hit different this time. People said STDs weren't just rumors around Sexyy Red. They were practically part of her brand, and she's admitted more than once that it wasn't just jokes. At one point, she openly revealed she had chlamydia twice. She explained how she and her man split, hooked up with other people, got back together, and then suddenly both of them noticed something smelled off. She even recalled saying, "We both was like, what the F is that smell?" They went to the doctor, but never figured out who brought it in. Now, when you line that story up with Charleston's so-called report, the rappers she's been tied to, and even her baby daddy's accusations, you can see why fans keep connecting the dots. That kind of history makes White's list sound way more real than just random shade. And if you thought Charleston was the only one going after her, think again. Lord Jamar jumped in too, and he did not hold back. He straight up said Sexyy Red reminded him of those girls back in the day where you'd walk into a room and instantly know somebody had just been messing around because the smell gave it away. But he didn't stop there. Jamar added he saw a video where she admitted herself that her private area was stinking, and he thought, she looks like the type where it gets hot, it gets funky in whatever room she in. When Jamar clowned her for that, it made Charleston's leaks sound a whole lot more believable. Suddenly, that alleged medical report wasn't just internet trolling. It lined up with what people were already whispering behind the scenes. And that's the problem. Between her own STI confessions, the high-profile hookups, and public commentary like this, it's starting to feel way bigger than gossip. It's starting to look like a full-on pattern now, which makes everybody wonder if some of the names on Charleston White's list are actually caught up in that chain of exposure. But here's the kicker. Some people online are flat out accusing Sexyy Red of deliberately spreading infections. One comment even went viral saying, "STDs are part of her brand. She made that choice." On the flip side though, not everybody blames her directly. Some argue that Sexyy Red is just another pawn in this toxic, clout-hungry culture. A system that uses women for shock value, runs up the views, then throws them away when the next scandal hits. Either way, the situation is sticky, it's messy, and Charleston's spin on it is hitting hard. But this isn't just petty gossip. It's deeper than that. We're watching how celebrity antics, social media clout chasing, and the lack of accountability around sex all crash together in 2025. Charleston even doubled down, saying this ain't nothing new, that Black women have been dragged for years through toxic beauty standards and misogynistic rap lyrics. But according to him, this feels way more calculated, like the system itself is pushing artists like Sexyy Red to the front to break down that image piece by piece. And when he blasted her alleged medical records and tied them to some of the biggest names in the industry, Charleston framed it as proof of the bigger war he's been warning about. Because once private paperwork and high-profile names start flying around, it's not just rumors anymore. It becomes a statement. And Charleston White, he knows exactly how to stir the pot until the whole room clears out. One thing's for sure, this conversation around Sexyy Red isn't dying down anytime soon. And next time, I'm breaking down exactly how the rappers Charleston named actually responded. And trust me, some of these clapbacks are just as crazy as the accusations themselves. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, drop your comments below, and share this with your people. I'll see you in the next one.